In our next category, Absolutely Open-Minded, I'm talking to Paul MacAlindin, who has to win this challenge. He has created the National Youth Orchestra of Iraq. What is the project, and which hurdles does Paul have to take? I will also talk to Daniel Agi, who is one of his flutists in the orchestra. His job was to support the flutists during the rehearsals in Iraq. Let us listen to their exciting experiences.
The project is called the National Youth Orchestra of Iraq, and it began in 2009. It was almost totally organised online and through Skype and email, and we physically met each other and got together for 2 weeks in the north of Iraq in a town, the Kurdish town called Sulaymaniyah, and formed a youth orchestra, roughly 50% Arab and 50% Kurdish. All Iraqis in Iraq performing classical music. That is, in that year it was Haydn's 99th Symphony and Beethoven's Prometheus Overture, and also works by Iraqi, Arab and Kurdish composers writing for orchestra. I was working through translators because many people didn't speak English, so I had a Kurdish translator on my left and an Arab translator on my right, relaying what I was saying to the orchestra all the time. I was working in a culture that was radically different from anything I'd ever experienced before.
Can you give an example of how you noticed that when you were in Iraq, that the culture was so different?
The organisation of the project itself was very, very last minute and very improvised. We knew what we had to do, and I had planned everything meticulously, but we didn't know where we were going to rehearse until the day before we started rehearsing. And that was organised by our orchestral manager at that time, who went wisely a couple of days in advance, realised that where she thought we were going is not where we could go, and then worked with the local government to requisition another place entirely. And this is the norm in Iraq. The improvised nature, the last-minute nature, the gut feeling of decision-making, and also the role of fatalism in that culture. If it's meant to be, it happens. If it's not meant to be, Allah didn't want it, so it ain't going to happen. And all of this feeds into how people work on a daily basis in their business in Iraq.
Now, what was it like to go to Iraq and play music? Can you tell us a little bit about the things that happened?
First of all, and actually for the whole time, it was extremely thrilling. When Paul MacAlindin called me and to ask me whether I wanted to come, I was delighted and shocked at the same time. Delighted because for my whole life I had wanted to make music in Arabic. Since I was born in Syria, and I've never had the chance to either work with Arabic musicians in Arabic or play Arabic music. So this was this chance, and I had always wanted to do that. On the other hand, I was shocked because, you know what you hear about Iraq. It's not the most pleasant things. And I thought, no, I'm not going to go there and get killed or something. But then I checked the German Foreign Office's website on Erbil, and I saw that, well, there are a lot of Reisewarnungen where they say which part of Iraq you shouldn't go to. And it's really very, very bad, especially when it comes to Baghdad. But in the end it says, all this isn't really valid for northern Iraq, and especially not for Erbil and Sulaymaniyah. And this is where we went, so I thought, let's just go.
Can you tell us about some specific cultural differences that you encountered while you were in Iraq?
Interesting is that in the end of the course, they would all give us presents. You know, little things they had bought in the market, or CDs or books and so on. Just they would come to us and give us these presents. I've never seen that before.